Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Tefaramanda. My student ID is 536752 from the University of Gadjah Mada. This is my video tutorial for the System Analytic and Design midterm exam, where I will be analyzing the case of Maerot macam-macam resto and proposing a solution for its ordering. I will walk you through our four main sections. First, the problem identification, proposed solution, and second, the Gantt chart based on my chosen development method. Third, the data flow diagram, both the logical level 0 and physical level 1. And finally, the data dictionary and process specification. Now, let's get started. Okay, we're gonna start with the problem identification. Because I already identified the problem itself. After analyzing the Maerot case, I formulated the following problem statement. Maerot macam-macam resto suffer from an inefficient manual ordering workflow compounded by unpredictable customer traffic pattern. This leads to severe operational bottleneck during peak hours and resource waste during off-peak hours. Now, here's the thing, the restaurant itself is losing its best customer due to excessive waiting times, 40 to 45 minutes just for sitting and a slow, fully manual ordering process, where customer spend 10 minutes browsing and another 5 minutes consulting the waiter before they can even place an order. At the same time, the restaurant cannot schedule its 20 employees efficiently because the busy hours are not fixed or predictable. Okay? Now, let me break down into 6 specific problems that I identified from the case. Problem number 1, unpredictable customer traffic. This restaurant has no fixed busy hour. Sometimes lunch hour is quiet and then the afternoon suddenly become overcrowded. This make workforce planning nearly impossible. Problem number 1, excessive customer. Problem number 2. Sorry. Problem number 2, excessive customer waiting time. During peak hours, customer wait for 40 to 45 minutes just to get a seat. After being seated, they spend another 10 minutes browsing the menu and 5 minutes asking the waiter about the various options. So in total, it takes almost 1 hour before the kitchen even receives the order. That is unacceptable. Problem number 3, the inefficient staff utilization. Did I state the problem in here? Okay, yeah, I stated the problem. Okay, so it's an efficient staff utilization. The restaurant has 20 employees, but during quiet hours, only 5 productively useful. During busy hours, all 20 are still not enough because they are busy, hours are unpredictable, shift-based scheduling is not feasible. Problem number 4, manual ordering process bottleneck. The entire ordering process is sequential and manual. Wait for a seat, receive a physical menu, browse through it, and waiter questions, and then finally place the order verbally. Each step depends on waiter availability, which creates cascading delays. Problem number 5, customer attrition. The case explicitly states that the owner is losing their best customer due to the poor experience during peak hours. This is a direct loss in both revenue and reputation. Problem number 6, the average menu without categorization support. Now, this restaurant offers a wide variety of items, snacks, coffee, full meals, but the current system provides no efficient way for a customer to navigate or filter through the menu quickly. So here my proposed solution for the ordering subsystem. There are 4 main components. Component A, digital queue management. When customer arrive, they can scan a QR code at the entrance to join a virtual queue. This system shows them the estimated wait time and sends a notification to their phone when their table is ready. This eliminates the need for customer to physically wait in the restaurant for 40 to 45 minutes. Component B, QR code digital menu on ordering. Each table has a QR code. Customer can scan it with their smartphone and access an interactive digital menu, complete with photos, description, category like snack, beverage, and main course, and even dietary filters. They can browse and order immediately without needing to wait for a waiter. This completely eliminates the 10 minutes browsing time and a 5-minute waiter consultation. And then the next component, kitchen display system or KDS. Order go directly from the customer device to a screen in the kitchen. No more relay by waiters. Now, this reduces order errors and sped up the kitchen workflow significantly. And component D. Here, component D. Okay. Real-time order status tracking. Customer can track their own order on their phone from receive to preparing to ready. This reduces the need to flag down waiters to just to ask about their order status. As you can see, it is impact table. The before and after comparison show dramatic improvement across all problem areas. Now, from the development method, I choose prototyping. There are 4 reasons. First, the owner is a MIPA UGM graduate, not an IT person. So he need to see a working model before committing. Second, the requirements are not fully defined upfront. The unpredictable nature of the business mean we need iterative feedback. Third, a prototype. Let us rapidly test the digital menu user experience with real customer before investing in a full development. And fourth, it reduces the risk of building that system that staff and customer would reject. Okay, moving on to section number 2. For section number 2, we're gonna moving on to the Gantt chart. For the Gantt chart itself, I'm gonna make it in Microsoft project. I already do some of it and gonna do some final touch. Predecessor, it's gonna be first phase 14, and then it's gonna be 10 days for the duration. Alright, now we have the Gantt chart. We can see it right here. Right, I already pasted the Gantt chart from the Microsoft project into the Word. Okay, the following Gantt chart outlines a 12-week project based on the prototyping SDLC approach. So there's phase 1, requirement gathering. From week 1 to week 2 in this phase, we interview from the owner and staff, observe the current ordering workflow on site, and document both functional and non-functional requirement. There phase 2, the initial prototype design, runs from week 3 to week 4. Here we design the UI mockups for the QR code menu and the kiosk interface, and then building a working prototype version with core ordering flow. Moving on to phase 2, initial prototype design, runs from week 3 to week 4. Here we design the UI mockup for the QR code menu and the kiosk interface, and then building a working prototype version 1 with the core ordering flow. Phase 3, review and refinement. It is the interactive phase. It runs from week 5 to week 7. This is where prototyping really shines. We conduct user testing session with the restaurant staff and a sample of real customer. We collect their feedback and iterate. By the end of this phase, we should have a refined prototype version that the owner is satisfied with. Okay, here the description itself. The system development phase 4 runs from week 8 to week 10. In this phase, we develop a full production system based on a proof prototype. We integrate all components, the web app, the backend server, the database, and the kitchen display system, and perform a true integration testing. Finally, phase 5, deployment and training, runs from week 11 to week 12. We deploy the system, train the restaurant staff to use it, run it with parallel with the existing manual process for a set period of time, and then go fully live. Okay, here the table, the description. The data breakdown for activity for each phase is also summarized in this table below the chart. Here it is, okay? And then we're moving on to logical DFD level 0. We're gonna make the logical DFD level 0 with... Okay, now we're moving on to logical DFD level 0. We're gonna make the DFD level 0 in appsdiagram.net. I'm gonna skip this phase and show you guys the result. Alright, here the logical DFD level 0. The level DFD below represent the logical view of the ordering subsystem, showing 4 main process: manage queue, browse menu, process order, and generate report. 3 external entities interact with the system, customer, kitchen, and management. 3 data stores support the process: menu database, order database, and queue table. And then we gonna moving on to the... Oh, there also a process summary of level 0 in description. We're gonna moving on to physical DFD level 1. I already make it also in the diagram.net. So in physical DFD level 1, there's process 3.1, validate order system, validate order item. This runs on the client side as a module called order validation.js, built with react.js. So when customers submit their selected menu items, This process checks each item against the menu database D1, so which is physically implemented as a TBL underscore menu underscore items in MySQL to verify availability and current price. So if validation fail, it send a validation error back to the customer. If items are valid, it send a validated item to list to process 3.2. Process 3.2 calculate order total. This run on the server as a module called price calculator.js built with node.js and express. So it's a vanilla build, so it's light to run. It take the validated times, calculate the line total for each item, quantity times unit price, compute the subtotal. We're moving on to process 3.3, submit order to kitchen. This is the kitchen dispatch.js module. It format the order into a kitchen ticket and sends it to the kitchen display system via WebSocket. This means the kitchen staff sees the order instantly on their screen. No waiter walking back and forth. It also passes the dispatch order ID to process 3.4. Process 3.4 update order status. This is the status tracker JS model using Node.js with socket.io for real-time web socket communication. When a kitchen update the preparation status from preparing to ready to serve, this process update the order status in D2 and send a push notification to the customer phone. So the customer always know exactly where their order stands. So there's no more customer complaining, "Where's my order? Why it's not done yet?" Oh, so customer can track it via their phone, and there's a notification also. The module fragmentation is summarized in this table, showing its process made to its specific model name, platform, and technology stack. We're gonna moving on to section 4, data dictionary and progress packs. Okay, in this section, starting with the data dictionary, I have documented the key data flows and data store used in level 1 DFD. For example, the data flow selected menu items. Here it is. This is the data that flow from customer to process 3.1. Its composition include order item ID, menu item ID, item name, quantity, special instruction, and unit price. The quantity field is integer constraint between 1 and 99. The average volume is 3 to 8 items per order, which approximately 200 orders per day. And then the data flow complete order plus total flowing from process 3.2 to 3.3, including the order ID, table number, and all line item with their individual totals, plus the subtotal, tax amount to 10% PPN, grand total, and the order timestamp. For the data store, I documented TBL order, which hold the order with status tracking, and TBL underscore order underscore details, which hold the individual line items. Both use MySQL with auto increment primary keys and foreign key relationship. Okay, so we're gonna wear the process specification. Forgot where is it? Oh, here it is. Process specification. Okay. Let me walk through 3.1 as an example. The logic between the receiving selected item from the customer, then for each item in the list, it treats the item record from data store D1. If the item is not found, it adds an error. If the item is marked and sold out, it adds an error. If the quantity is valid less than 1 or greater than 99, it adds an error. Otherwise, it sets the unit price from the current database price, mark to the item as available, and then add it up to the validated item list. After the loop, if there are any errors, it sends the error list back to the customer. If everything is valid, it sends the validated item to the process 3.2. Okay, the same structure approach is applied to process 3.2 for calculating totals, process 3.3 for dispatching to the kitchen, and process 3.4 for updating order status, all of which you can see documented in the tables here. Alright, so to summarize, this is all process of the table, which I already done before, and I just recorded so you guys can see. I'm gonna screenshot it one by one so you guys can maybe pause and then see the logic behind my scripting. Alright, so to summarize, I have identified 6 key problems in the MyErrot case, all stemming from the manual ordering process and unpredictable traffic. My proposed solution is a QR code-based digital ordering system developed using the prototype method over a 12-week timeline. I decompose the ordering subsystem into a logical level 0 DFD with 4 process and further decompose the process ordered into physical level 1 DFD with 4 process and 4 subprocess. Sorry, my bad. And their corresponding model fragmentation. Finally, I documented the data dictionary and process specification for all level 1 process. I think that concludes my video tutorial. If you guys have any question, feel free to drop any comment in the comment box below, or maybe you guys can like, subscribe to my channel also to next video tutorial about DFD, SAD, ERP, SAP. Okay, thank you for watching. And again, if you guys have a question, feel free to drop a comment in the comment box. Bye bye.